Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Yalik, and we are in this screen because what I wanted to show you is this. It is crab weekend, and I have put down a troop health masterpiece, which is amazing and cool. I'm not putting a bunch of effort into this crab, but since it is the gunboat crab, meaning we get all this extra gunboat energy, I pulled up one of my GBE statues in order to put this down, and honestly, I would love to say this is probably the easiest crab that you'll ever do, because the further you go, the more GBE you get. I would love to say that I were pushing and that I've had no time, which is really the problem with all these crab events. I have a life. I have stuff to do. I mean, yeah, I play this game a lot, but I just can't put that much time into things. However, I managed to get to stage 41, and that was pretty much. I did like 6 or 7 stages last night, and I was exhausted, and I went to bed at 1 in the morning. And so the rest of those stages from like 8 to 41, that was on one 3-hour boost cycle, and it was just masterpiece boosted. So this one and this one and this one, and that's it. And got to stage 41 and the gold trophy, and I don't know that I'm going to continue. Anyway, that troop health masterpiece has made a huge difference, and it's really cool actually. I just don't have more time to put into the crab, especially with multiple accounts. In any case, the troop health is something that I don't normally get to enjoy because I have been focused on operations for a long time, and for operations you pretty typically want, GBE statues, and you want damage statues. So I haven't had health in I don't even remember how long. So that also plays into some of my PvP hits and so on. Actually, I used warriors it was a Dr. T day. I used warriors to do Dr. T. Having troop health with warriors is amazing. I've considered keeping one out permanently. I don't think I'm going to do that, but it's just something that's kind of in mind, and I'm sort of torn. So you can see my activity log, my attacks there. Just for the record, there's a fail there, but that was just GBE. There's a fail there, but that was just GBE. There's a fail there, that was just GBE. And there's a fail there, but that was also just GBE. And honestly, that is because I'm used to working with a little more GBE, and I'm not used to working with the troop health. So I kind of have to test the waters a little bit more, just to figure out what I can do and what I can't do. However, so Chinese squiggles here. I wanted to show this hit, and I wanted to show this hit specifically because I don't think I've done anything with RCZM very recently, and I just had a conversation with somebody about how great RCZM is, and I believe his term for it, this is mostly, like Zuka, heavy Zuka, warrior type player. His term for RCZM was the shit combination, which is slightly offensive to me. Not because you just, he should know better, and apparently he doesn't know better, and I hope you all know better. So, anyway, excuse me there. I'm a bit sniffly tonight. So, we have an ice base, shield base, and the thing is, I'm down GBE, so I had tested this guy out beforehand, and I can safely take out these 2 range towers. Well, any 2 range towers. You've got 1 and 2, you've got 1 and 2, and then you've got this at the back. I preferred to go this direction just because I could have gone, I suppose, with the, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but I decided I would go left. But I can take out 2 of the range towers safely, and that means it's either going to be these 2 and these, or these 2, and then I'm going to be left with this to deal with. But I mean, these 2 or these 2. The reason I say that with the 2 up front is that whichever 2 I remove, I can shock the others. So if I take out these 2, then these can be shocked together, and vice versa. And then that leaves me with this to deal with. And everything else up front in this base is kind of a single shot defense. So I decided to go to the left. I mean, there's the machine gun here, and eventually you are going to run into those sorts of towers, but RCZM seemed like the best start here. However, again, normally I would prefer to take out more than 2 range towers, but I do have troop health now. So I figured, go left, don't have to deal with the extra machine gun, and I'll take out these 2 towers and kind of improvise with this. Figure out what happens. And so I'd like to point out how easy it is to deal with. First of all, RCZM is just fantastic, but also how easy it was to deal with this final rocket launcher. So I didn't have a ton of GBE left here. I think it was around 36 or 39 or something to start off, which is fine. That gives me some critters and a shock, obviously, like I said, over here. And I have Sparky with her critter swarm, and so that gives me some more cheap critters to clear mines and distract stuff, and so I can really get into this base a little bit and gather up some GBE, so sort of reevaluate the situation on the fly, as it were. I've had a couple of shocks here, and I'm just sort of working my way in and trying to establish a safe zone. Obviously this hot pot was going to be a problem, and I got a shock ready at the perfect time for it, meaning, not like planning ahead, just it happened to be available. And so now, if you look at where we are on this attack, that shock has tons of time. We do have the shock drive right now, so I'm not really worried about these things and this mortar, this blaster. I do have my critters to distract them, and really my main problem right now is I have not yet really addressed this final rocket launcher, and there is a shield, which I'm not planning on getting to. There's just not really enough firepower and GBE for me to work around, this way like that. So I'm just not even figuring on addressing the shield. I'm going to go at the HQ directly. Which means that this rocket launcher is going to be firing at me the whole time. So normally this would be a very sketchy situation for me, but with the extra troop health and, well, with one other trick, this ends up being a very safe win. And here's that other trick, and it's super simple. My troops are sort of closing in on the HQ, the critters are doing their job, and this rocket launcher ends up being distracted with just two buckets of critters. They are closest to the rocket launcher, so it will focus on them. I threw one up there, and then I'm going to throw a second set of critters back over here later, fairly soon, I would assume. There it is, flying in. The machine gun will get some of them, but most of them are out of range of everything else, except for, well, the blaster could get them, but it's not, and because there are things closer to it, and the rocket launcher. And the rocket launcher turns, so critters up here, critters back there, and that completely distracts that tower for long enough for me to chew through the shield and then chew through the HQ health with almost no difficulty whatsoever. So, completely unboosted. Just one more time, we'll check the stats. So, that's, right there. Not even, that's an ice base, that's a shield base, no boost going on whatsoever. You can see that right there. And, yeah, just like, I think I've I've been in the last 3 or 4 days. I want to say I've cleared map once or twice easily every day with no boost going on, and I've pretty strictly used generally warriors or RCZM or HRCZM, which is just a variant of RCZM really, or the occasional heavy Zuka hit. That's it. And those strategies have been plenty to clear maps at this level. Ice base, not nice base, doesn't really matter. So, like, it sort of gets on my nerves when someone disparages RCZM because, oh yeah, no, that's a, crazy mix of, I don't know what that's about. No, it's great, and if you haven't tried it, then you're cheating yourself. So, not that this is really a surprise or a secret if you watch this channel at all, but RCZM is fantastic, and it's even better when there's a troop health down. So when this crab ends, I'm going to have a pretty serious choice to make about what I want to do going forward. If I want to keep pushing on operations and learning those paths and things, then I will remove that troop health statue. But if I want to keep pushing on player bases and trying to improve BP, then I will not. Well, I'll just keep this as it is. And yeah, one way or the other, it has been fantastic having troop health because that's not something I generally get to enjoy. So yeah, very cool. Cool on the crab, cool on the PvP basis, and yeah, it's been a fun weekend. So anyway, it's late. I'm gonna go to bed. Whatever. Catch you guys later. Take it easy.